I transmigrate into a world of nationwide awakening and become the first person cursed by the gods, all because I casually turned down a SSS rank class, the Undead Calamity, just to prove that gods are nothing but demons. Everyone calls me a total idiot. Even Yan, the school beauty I'm dating, wants to break up with me. But what no one knows is that I've awakened the one and only hidden class, the God-forsaken. Right now, standing on the awakening stage, I'm confused. What I see looks nothing like what the textbooks describe. According to the textbooks, when both hands touch the ancient stone slab, one divine being appears. It chooses you as its follower and grants you a class. From then on, you hunt monsters in its name, offering their soul flames as sacrifice, and in return, you gain tremendous power and skills. But right now, standing before me are not one, but 4 divine beings. The first to offer me a class is a war goddess clad in golden armor, wielding a holy engraved greatsword. She looks down at me with cold arrogance, her face full of contempt. "Awakener, I have sensed your diligence and devotion. Follow me, and I shall grant you the glory of a warrior." The ancient stone slab radiates a dull gray light, and a broken greatsword slowly materializes in the air. The greatsword represents the lowest tier class, a D-rank warrior. Instantly, the entire awakening ceremony erupts in chaos. Ha! What's the point of studying so hard? He still awakens a trash class, right? Perfect scores in high school, and for what? Everyone sneers without holding back. At the same time, a line of text appears before me. Option 1. Follow the war goddess and advance to the D-rank class warrior. Base skill, chain thrust. Innate skill, none. I can't help but narrow my eyes. That's it? This arrogant war goddess claims to have felt my devotion and diligence, and all she offers is a D-rank cannon fodder class. I shake my head without hesitation. I shift my gaze to the second divine being, one cloaked in black, radiating a suffocating, killing intent. The war goddess, this one seems quietly pleased. It reaches out a hand toward me. "A wise choice, clever awakener. Come, follow me on, become a blade that cuts through the void." In an instant, a dark flash streaks through the air. A black blade presses against my throat. Option 2. Become a servant of the void spirit and advance to the S-rank class shadow assassin. Base skills, void erasure, shadow veil. Innate skill, shadow kill. At the same moment, the ancient stone slab erupts in a blinding purple light. Another blade tears through the void and appears, its dark gleam instantly swallowing the broken gray greatsword from before. The crowd, still buzzing moments ago, goes dead silent. Everyone is stunned. Then, from the silence, someone finally mutters under their breath, "How is another class appearing for the same guy?" Biao, whose smirk is still frozen on his face, goes pale with rage. He shoots to his feet and roars, "How can one person possibly awaken 2 classes?" Principal Lin slams his hand on the table and leaps to his feet, face flushed red with excitement. "That's it, kid. That is definitely an S-rank class." Having spent most of his life in education, he has never seen anyone awaken 2 classes. But he knows exactly what it means to be chosen by multiple divine beings at once. Standing in the light, I shake my head again. An S-rank combat class, the Shadow Assassin. Even measured against every assassin-type class in existence, this one ranks among the very best. But I'm in no rush. There are still 2 more divine beings waiting. The Void Spirit, robed in black, trembles with suppressed fury, but can do nothing. And in the glance the Void Spirit steals at the third divine being, I catch a flicker of genuine fear and reverence. The third divine being is an old man holding a bone staff, its tip wreathed in pale blue flames. The old man carries an authority that needs no anger to intimidate. He turns his gaze to me. "Awakener, I am the Death God. Kneel before me, and I will grant you the power to command life and death." Bold words. I like it, I think to myself. It's clear there is already a hierarchy among the gods. The next second, ancient white text rises before me. Option 3. Submit to the Death God and advance to the SSS rank class. Undead Calamity. Base skills, Undead Summon, Bone Decoy. Innate skill, Herald of the Death God. Undead servants that can be summoned, unlimited. In an instant, the ancient stone slab blazes with orange light that shoots straight into the sky. The entire sky above the Rabbit Kingdom dims like a solar eclipse. I look up, and a billion-strong undead army swarms overhead like a plague of locusts, colossal undead beasts, flickering undead assassins, undead warlords mounted on skeletal war horses, a vision of pure apocalypse. And it isn't just Jianghai City. The entire Rabbit Kingdom witnesses this terrifying phenomenon. Across the nation, emergency news broadcasts cut in everywhere. Reporter Lu grips her microphone, her voice slightly trembling. "Please remain calm, citizens. This phenomenon has been confirmed as caused by one of our nation's awakeners." At this moment, inside a secret military base codenamed Wolf's Den, a white-haired elder in a traditional tunic stares at the apocalyptic sky with steel-cold eyes. "Elder Chen, thank goodness you moved fast and contained this phenomenon. Otherwise, foreign nations would already know. Who exactly is Qin, and what could have triggered something this terrifying?" The white-haired elder gives a slight nod. "I've already sent people to investigate. Whoever this person is, we will be the first to take them under our protection." Back at the ceremony, the press goes absolutely wild. Camera after camera locks onto the dark clouds rolling above the awakening stage. I, still inside the ceremony, have no idea about the frenzy erupting outside. I stare at the old man who calls himself the Death God, and I hesitate. Having thoroughly studied the history of awakening, Awakeners, I know better than anyone. The Rabbit Kingdom's last SSS-rank Undead Mage had already achieved extraordinary heights, so choosing the SSS-rank Undead Calamity would mean a god-tier starting hand, a guaranteed place in history. And yet, I shake my head once more. I want to see the last divine being. The last one looks less like a god and more like a mortal, a body covered in scars, tangled black hair, blood-red eyes. In its hand, nothing but a nearly extinguished torch. Compared to the overwhelming presence of the first three, this fourth divine being looks like a beggar. But the moment this beggar speaks, my entire body jolts. Are you also a transmigrator from Blue Star? My mind feels like it's shattering. I'm not from this world. I came from Blue Star. This secret I have never told a single soul. Not even the three divine beings before this one could see through my origins. Yet Ryther, this one who looks like a street beggar, sees through me instantly. What does this mean? Could it be that this divine being is also a transmigrator from Blue Star? My eyes go wide with shock. Before I can even ask, the ragged figure speaks urgently. Do not follow any of the gods. All of this is a divine conspiracy. We are all just pieces on their board. All sacrifices. Gods can be killed, and we can become gods ourselves. The words barely fade before the ragged figure's body begins to dissolve, as if struck down by an unseen force. My mind floods with questions, but there is no time to ask any of them. Text appears before my eyes. Option 4. Refuse the god's blessing and become one forsaken by all divine beings. Class, God forsaken. Base skill, none. Initial innate trait, fractured divinity. Though fractured, it can still receive offerings. The God-forsaken may offer the soul flames of any monster killed, claiming their traits for themselves. The moment this option appears, I notice something terrifying. Above the heads of the three divine beings, deep red health bars materialize. Values stretching into the trillions. My entire worldview collapses in this instant. Gods have health bars, and humans can become gods? A wave of awe rushes through me, my hands trembling slightly. In that instant, I understand the true value of fractured divinity. Normally, only gods enjoy the offerings. An awakener must kill monsters and offer their soul flames to their chosen god, only then receiving skills, second advancements, and other rewards in return. But a fractured divinity is still a divinity. That means possessing divinity puts me on equal footing with the gods. I can receive offerings directly. Every trait on every monster I kill becomes mine. Yes, it starts as a blank slate class, but its growth potential is limitless. I could even become a true god. Now compare that to what the first three gods were offering. Arrogant and stingy, one luring me like a predator baiting prey, and one demanding outright submission. Follower, servant, submission, not a single word that carries real respect. Perhaps to these gods, humans are nothing but insects to be played with. Up on the main stage, the guild masters of the Rabbit Kingdom's four major guilds, Lian, Qin Xiao, and Meng, have all crowded around Principal Lin, who has never in his life been treated with this kind of attention. He is absolutely beaming, grinning from ear to ear. Qin is one of our school's key students, one of our finest graduates, but mid-sentence the terrifying undead army in the sky begins to fade. Then another pillar of light explodes from the ancient stone slab. A fourth class? Meng, master of the Black Eagle Guild, shakes his head in disbelief. Truly unheard of, though looking at this one, probably C rank at best. Everyone turns to the ancient stone slab. As the fourth pillar of light rockets skyward, a battered torch totem joins the slab. Four pillars of light in different colors swirl around me, but anyone can see it. The orange pillar blazes the brightest by far. The SSS-rank Undead Calamity is clearly the best choice. Principal Lin, Qin will make the right call, won't he? Xiao, the sharp and beautiful master of the Drifting Cloud Guild, can't help but look worried. Rest assured, guild masters. Our school's career guidance program has always been. Principal Lin's smiling reassurance dies in his mouth as he watches me on the awakening stage finally make my choice. The four pillars of light above the stone slab vanish, almost simultaneously. Now only one totem remains on me, a torch barely clinging to its last flame. It circles around me once and sinks into the space between my eyes. The entire venue erupts in chaos. No way. Principal Lin's face freezes solid. The four guild masters stand stunned on the stage, every one of them wearing the same look of disbelief. He actually passed on the Undead Calamity. Lian, master of the Phoenix Flame Guild, shakes his head and sighs, wishing it were him standing on that awakening stage instead. And now, Principal Lin, who just rode a roller coaster from pure joy to absolute devastation, charges onto the awakening stage like a raging bull. Qin, get down here right now, Principal Lin screams at the top of his lungs. Director Zhang, who is Qin's homeroom teacher? Why wasn't proper career guidance given? Director Zhang, quick to ride the wave of authority, immediately turns and unloads on Miss Tang. Faced with the scolding from both Director Zhang and the principal, Ms. Tang is barely bothered. She trusts that Qin has his reasons. Meanwhile, the sheer drama of it all sends the Medianto a complete frenzy. People love building someone up into a legend, legend, and they love tearing that legend down even more. Viewers, I honestly didn't expect this. This school, the one that calls itself #1 in Shanghai City, doesn't even cover basic career guidance? Our nation just lost a SSS rank awakener, an undead calamity. For this kind of outcome, I believe every teacher at this school shares responsibility. By now, the 4 guildmasters on the stage can only shake their heads one by one and quietly slip away. But not everyone is upset. Some, like Biao and Ming among the same graduating class, are over the moon. A waste is always a waste. Even when opportunity lands right in his lap, he can't hold on to it. Biao lets out a long breath toward the sky. Just moments ago, he had feared he would spend his entire life being overshadowed by Qin. Back on the awakening stage, I've barely had a moment to process anything when the 4 divine beings and the visions begin to fade. The surroundings shift in an instant, and I'm teleported somewhere completely unfamiliar. A voice immediately rings in my ears. New Awakener, you have entered the trial tower. This is the final assessment for newly awakened individuals. Your ability to quickly adapt to your class and push it to its maximum potential is what truly matters. I quickly scan my surroundings. I'm standing in an ancient forest. This must be the first floor of the trial tower. Each floor is a self-contained world. Only by defeating the guardian monsters of each floor can I advance to the next. I open my status panel. Every stat stares back at me, pitifully weak, even I have to admit it. All 4 starting stats, vitality, strength, agility, and spirit, are sitting at a miserable 5 points each. Health, attack, and defense are all lower than even a D rank class. Not a single starting skill. The only thing I have is one initial trait, fractured divinity. Fair enough. I narrow my eyes and read the description. Fractured divinity, the divinity of one forsaken by all gods. Though fractured, it can still receive offerings. Offering soul flames will gradually restore the fractured divinity. I hope I didn't bet on the wrong hand. Right then, rustling sounds stir from the jungle around me. The first floor's guardian monsters have arrived. They're goblins. Hunched, twig-limbed humanoids. I recognize them immediately. Goblins are about as weak as monsters get, but for someone with stats this close to 0, I can't afford even a sliver of carelessness. I tighten my grip on the spear and take a few cautious steps back. 3 goblins in total. If they surround me, with my current stats, I'm dead in seconds. The one out front already swings an iron sword straight at me. I grip the spear with both hands and deflect the goblin's blade with precision. Catching it off balance, I drive the rough iron spear hard into the goblin chest. The goblin lets out a shriek and crumbles. I press forward, sweeping and slashing with the spear, landing 2 more hits in quick succession. Its health bar drops below half. Right then, the other 2 goblins lunge at me from both sides. Instead of retreating, I lunge forward and drive the spear clean through the first goblin's body, wiping out the last of its health. It collapses slowly to the ground. The remaining 2 goblins rage at the sight of their fallen comrade and slash at me from both sides. I stay completely calm, weaving and dodging with steady footwork while using the spear to parry every attack. They don't land a single hit. I parry and counter relentlessly until, 5 minutes later, the last goblin falls. 3 streams of white light rise from their bodies and flow into me. Enough experience to push me up a full level. But what catches my eye are the goblin corpses. From each one, faint flickering flames begin to rise. Soul flames. Kill a monster, and you earn its soul flames. Offer enough soul flames to your chosen god, and you can earn their favor, receiving new skills, second advancements, even third advancements. Soul flame offering. Goblin. The flames drift off the corpses one by one and dissolve into the air around me. Soul flame offering successful. Trait acquired, savage bond. Strength increased by 10%. Yes. A surge of excitement floods through me. A full 100 points of strength. My attack jumps all the way to 135. So this is what it feels like to receive an offering. And this is just a fractured divinity, already pulling results this powerful. The gods with completed divinities, receiving offerings from billions of followers every single day. I can't even imagine how monstrous their power must be. The first floor is vast, far more than just a few goblins roam here. I need to kill their leader to advance to the next floor. I grip the spear and push deeper into the jungle. It doesn't take long before I spot another cluster of goblins, but this time, with 135 attack, I move through them like a force of nature. One thrust, one kill. A field of goblin corpses drops before me, and streams of white experience flow into my body. Another level up. Then suddenly, a massive goblin hefts an enormous spiked club and brings it crashing down at me. Spin to break the strike, and my iron spear punches straight through its thigh, tearing open a gaping wound. The goblin chief howls in pain. I begin circling it with light, dancing footwork, landing counter after counter. Its health drops below half in seconds. Then the goblin chief's eyes turn a deep, burning red, and it goes berserk. Its damage output explodes. It hunches forward, clawing and smashing as it lunges at me. But this is exactly what I want. My feet sidestep in a flash, and I drive the spear straight into the goblin chief's throat. In that instant, a massive damage number explodes from it. The hulking goblin chief crashes to the ground. Soul flames flicker to life above the corpse. Soul flame offering, goblin chief. I press the spear tip against the body, and a prompt immediately appears. Soul flame offering successful. Skill acquired, frenzy. Rank B, A skill. Finally, my heart leaps. Frenzy. I pull up the skill panel immediately. The slot that was completely empty just moments ago now holds the very first skill, Frenzy, rank B. Effect, a technique unique to the orc bloodline. When activated, damage and attack speed increase by 30%. When the effect ends, the user falls into a weakened state with defense reduced by 50%. Just as a small wave of excitement is building in my chest, new text appears before me. Spend 10 flame points to upgrade this skill? I blink. So that's what flame points are for. You can actually upgrade acquired skills. I spend the 10 flame points. Upgrade complete. Frenzy has evolved into Boiling Beast Blood. Boiling Beast Blood, rank B. Effect, a high-tier bloodline technique unique to orc kind. When activated, damage and attack speed increase by 50%. Afterward, the user enters a brief weakened state, defense reduced by 30%. Bonus effect, each kill during activation extends its duration. Outside the trial tower, Ms. Tang is watching my feed closely, worry filling her eyes. Back inside, a notification chimes in my ear. Congratulations, you have defeated the Guardian of Trial Tower Floor 1. Transferring to floor 2, my vision blurs, and I'm teleported into a massive, pitch-dark cavern. Nothing but stone walls and damp earth all around. This must be the trial tower second floor. Strangely, what I feel right now isn't nerves, it's excitement. Just from offering the goblins on the first floor, I've already unlocked Boiling Beast Blood. What kind of surprises will the next floor bring? The trial tower second floor monsters are already making themselves known. Deep in the darkness of this cavern, black vines suddenly erupt from the ground. Sharp as thorns, they send a chill through the spine. I leap backward immediately, raise the spear, and swing hard, slicing through 2 of the vines. They drop to the ground, still writhing like living things. I frown. Their health is almost nothing, but the next second, more vines burst up from the soil all around me. I react fast. Before they fully emerge, the spear cuts them all down, but the severed vines just keep sprouting back from the dirt. I grasp the problem immediately. Low health, yes, but kill them and more just take their place. It's endless. There must be a source, a core, and killing it is the only way to end this. I snatch up the spear and charge toward wherever the ground seems to be moving most, cutting through as I go. Vines erupt from the ground in uncountable numbers along the way, but my nimble footwork keeps me clear of everyone. After weaving through roughly 7 or 8 tunnels, a massive gnarled root sits at the center of the cavern. Every vine leads back to it. This is the source. And even more unsettling, a human face has grown from within the root. This has to be the core. Without hesitating another second, I raise the iron spear and drive it hard into the mass of root's A. Damage number pops up, and the root's health bar appears. Undying Tree Spirit. Elite boss. Health, 50,000. Danger level high. That health bar stretches to a full 50,000. But the most crushing part comes next. A healing number appears on the tree spirit, and the damage I just dealt begins recovering within seconds. So that's the trick. I understand the point of this floor now. To clear the vines for good, I have to kill the undying tree spirit. But not only does it have a monstrous health bar, its regeneration is terrifying too. A quick kill is out of the question. But the longer this drags on, the more vines the core spawns. This floor is testing raw damage output. Most awakeners who make it this far are practically forced to give up on the spot. But for me right now, this might not be unwinnable. Outside the trial tower, Principal Lin's brow is furrowed hard. Damn it all. Who on earth designed this year's trial tower? The awakeners who successfully cleared the first floor are led by 3 S-rank awakeners, Biao, Ming, and Yan. Biao, with his S-rank melee class Coiling Dragon Monk, immediately spins his staff and shreds through the vines in seconds. Good. At least this floor still looks manageable. Principal Lin has barely exhaled in relief when the enormous core root fills the camera frame. Everyone watching can't help but gasp at once. Oh no, is that an undying tree spirit? Even a level 10 awakener would struggle to bring that down. Meanwhile, off to the side, Ms. Tang is watching my feed closely. My movements appear to be twice as fast as they were on the first floor. How is that possible? Meanwhile, I'm already unleashing a relentless assault on the tree spirit's core. With Boiling Beast Blood active, both my attack power and speed have surged dramatically. Even with the tree spirit's insane regeneration, I'm pushing over 70 points of effective damage per hit. 50,000 health, but it's not untouchable. That said, killing the undying tree spirit isn't as simple as just going all out. Thorn-covered vines keep erupting from the ground every second, and if I don't cut them down fast enough, they pile up and overwhelm me. But the moment I split my focus to deal with them, I lose the sustained damage on the core. That's the trap this floor's designer set. But for me, the vines are actually targets to reset Boiling Beast Blood. I keep hammering the tree spirit's core while cutting down each vine the moment it sprouts. Every vine kill extends Boiling Beast Blood by 10 seconds. At perfect 10-second loop, I lock into the rhythm precisely. Under that tight cycle, the undying tree spirit's 50,000 health ticks steadily downward. 1 minute to 2 minutes. 5 minutes. The intensity and concentration needed for this sustained assault goes on for what feels like an eternity. Finally, on the last thrust of the spear, the tree spirit's health bar drains to nothing. The massive root system fractures all at once, dissolving into a storm of ash and dust. Every vine filling the cavern vanishes along with it. The undying tree spirit crumbles before me. Waves of white light flood into me. This brutal boss pushes me up 3 full levels in one go. But what I really care about is the tree spirit's soul flame offering. Tiny glowing flammes whirl around the tip of my spear before fading away. Soul flame offering. Undying Tree Spirit. Successful Jot trait acquired. Light Core Regeneration. Rank S bonus. Restores 1% of maximum health per second. Worthy of an S-rank trait. Before Qin can even feel excited, the familiar system voice rings out again. Congratulations, you have defeated the Guardian of Floor 2, transferring to Floor 3. In an instant, Qin is pulled out of the dark cavern and dropped into an open swamp. Then another prompt sounds in his ear. Congratulations! You are the 5th Awakener to reach Floor 3. Remaining Awakeners in the Trial Tower. 47. Qin feels a jolt of surprise. He knew he wasn't the first to take down the Undying Tree Spirit, but the clearance rate is far lower than he expected. Before he can even process that, the dark, murky swamp before him stirs, and 3 humanoid figures emerge from nowhere. A low, wave-like wail washes over Qin. Swamp Banshees. Qin dives behind a nearby boulder. A sharp sonic blast screams past his ear the next second. A magic attack. Qin's expression hardens. The Swamp Banshee's sonic attacks already cover a massive area, and Floor 3 is set in an open swamp with almost no cover, with only this one boulder offering any real protection. Taking down a Swamp Banshee isn't the hard part. Their physical defense is nothing. The real problem is that attacking one instantly draws sonic blasts from the other two. On top of that, this swamp terrain slows movement, making this floor a pure test of endurance. Qin figures out the designer's intent, and a quiet smirk crosses his lips. All he has to do is tank a few hits, trade health for damage, retreat behind the boulder, and let light core regeneration bring him back up. Then go again. Simple as that. Clearing Floor 3 is a piece of cake. No hesitation. Qin explodes forward and charges straight at the nearest Swamp Banshee. The Banshee's beautiful face drains with shock, and in that instant, the spear thrusts home. Then Qin immediately pulls back and retreats, never overstaying. At the same time, sonic blasts from the other 2 Banshees slam into his head from both sides. His vision rattles. 2 damage numbers burst from his body. But at level 8, Qin eats both hits and still has roughly half his health left. And that one strike took out most of one Banshee's health. Back behind the boulder, light core regeneration kicks in. His health climbs back up at a visible rate. All he has to do now is wait for a full recovery, then repeat. And so, on Floor 3 of the Trial Tower, an unusual scene unfolds. A young man gripping a rough iron spear, deliberately eating sonic blasts from behind, bursting forward to stab a Swamp Banshee, then immediately running back to hide behind the boulder and wait for his health to refill. 10+ minutes later, Qin lets out a long breath, leaning on the spear. Thanks to these cheap tactics, he manages to take down all 3 Banshees without dying once. As the 3 Swamp Banshees slowly dissolve, the familiar voice returns in his ear. Soul Flame offering. Swamp Banshee successful. Skill acquired. Tide Step. Rank B effect. An innate technique of aquatic bloodlines. Summons a current of water to envelop the body, granting immunity to most slowing effects. Passive bonus. Movement speed increased by 15%. Congratulations, you have defeated the Guardian of Floor 3. Transferring to Floor 4. Then a new message follows. This floor does not require eliminating all Guardian monsters. Reach the central teleportation circle alive to advance. Defeating the Guardian monsters is not required. Qin immediately feels suspicious. After everything the first 3 floors have pulled, he is absolutely certain Floor 4 has a trap. A few seconds later, Qin arrives on Floor 4 and takes in the scene before him. His jaw drops. The Guardian here is not a few monsters. It's an entire Ghostfire spider nest. This kind of monster makes skin crawl just looking at it. Their horrifying appearance alone would make 9 out of 10 female awakeners quit on the spot. Layer after layer of webbing turns the entire floor into a true web of death. Oh, come on! Qin sprints frantically through the cascading webs, dodging silk threads firing at him from every direction. Tide Step. Activate. Qin immediately activates the skill had just earned. A current of water wraps instantly around his feet. He feels the lightness surge through every step. And when he steps back onto the endless webbing, the resistance and stickiness are completely gone. He dashes toward the center of the floor, but even with the skill's boost, he can't fully avoid every attack in this swarm. A sharp sting hits his shoulder. Status, Ghostfire Venom inflicted. The next second, both poison and burn damage tick from above his head. The individual numbers aren't high, but this is just one stack of Ghostfire Venom. A few more bites, and 3 or 4 stacks of venom and burn would put him in serious trouble. Every nerve in Qin's body tightens. He drives straight for the teleportation circle without hesitation. But at the very last moment, right on the edge of stepping in, he forces himself to stop. Both feet hover at the rim of the circle. He looks back at the Ghostfire spider swarm bearing down on him, and a thought surfaces in his mind. Greedy, reckless thought. Qin suddenly raises the spear and drives it hard into the charging Ghostfire spiders. Their health is even lower than the second floor's vines, barely 10 points each. One hit kills every single one. Time is running out. Qin watches his health bar dropping and narrows his eyes. The spear moves with cold precision, sharp and clean, cutting through every Ghostfire spider that rushes at him. What is Qin doing? Miss Tong, the only one watching his feed, freezes. He's already at the teleportation circle, but he's turning back to fight the spider swarm. Didn't he hear the floor's instructions? She grows anxious. In her view, what Qin is doing is completely pointless. These tiny Ghostfire spiders, no matter how many of them there are, give almost no experience. Farming them is pure wasted time. Doesn't Qin know that clear time determines the final score? Qin, what are you doing? Qin, on the other hand, is running at maximum focus, staying clear of attacks while watching his health bar drain lower and lower. Finally, as the Ghostfire spiders swarm in from all sides, his health hits the danger line. 1/4 remaining. I have to step in now. Soul Flame Offering. Ghostfire Spider. Qin sweeps the spear tip in a wide arc and triggers the offering ritual at the last possible moment. At the same time he steps back. 1 foot lands inside the teleportation circle. As the world spins and warps around him, the voice Qin has been waiting for finally rings out. Trait. Skill acquired. Ghostfire Venom. Rank. Level 1. Effect. A venom unique to Ghostfire spider bloodlines, born from lava and toxic miasma. On contact, it afflicts the target with Ghostfire burning, dealing sustained damage and reducing defense. The lethal poison also deals sustained damage and suppresses the target's healing. These words hit Qin's mind like a rush of adrenaline. Fortune truly favors the bold. This is exactly why Qin turned back. Ghostfire Venom, a skill that combines fire and poison into one, is practically made for hunting monsters. What a skill. Ghostfire Venom. Qin grins quietly to himself. But before the joy even settles, the ground begins to tremble, and the floor 5 guardian is already making its entrance. A massive silhouette fills Qin's vision, something mountain-sized, its fur bristling like a coat of needles. Ghost Claw Bear. Status. Adult. Level 15. Elite Boss. Danger Level. Extreme. Qin's expression turns grave. This Ghost Claw Bear is a match for an entire party, and the arena has nowhere to hide, but I'm not ready to give up. And the reason is simple. The Ghost Claw Bear's thick fur coat makes it weak to fire, and as a natural beast type, it's weak to poison. Outside the trial tower on the ceremony grounds, Principal Lin stares at the main screen with a dark expression, words grinding out through clenched teeth. Who the hell designed this year's trial tower? Just look at what they put in it. The Goblin Horde and Undying Tree Spirit in the first 2 floors alone wiped out nearly 90% of all Awakeners. Then Floor 3's Swamp Banshees eliminated every slow-moving warrior-type class. Only the ranged classes managed to survive, using long-range damage topic off the 3 Banshees from the gaps between rocks. And then Floor 4, that nightmare of a Ghostfire spider nest, made even Principal Lin's scalp crawl. By now, the live feed only shows a handful of top-seed S-rank Awakeners and barely Anya-rank survivors. Coiling Dragon Monk Biao tanks through the damage on pure durability, bulldozing straight toward the center teleportation circle. Even so, by the time he reaches it, he has barely a sliver of health left. Frostblade Swordsman Ming doesn't fare much better. His ice affinity is exactly what the Ghostfire spiders counter, and he survives only by relying entirely on his S-rank class shield to protect him. He barely makes it to the teleportation circle. Yan, who awakened as a shadow hunter, uses her evasion and ambush skills to narrowly make it through the circle as well, becoming the only female awakener to reach floor 5. Meanwhile, Ru Yan, who used her fire affinity to be the first to kill the Undying Tree Spirit, and later wore down the Swamp Banshees with fire spells, hits a wall at floor 4's Ghostfire spider nest and crumbles completely. As a glass cannon mage, she gets tangled in webbing after just a few steps. Taking one look at the overwhelming spider swarm, Ru Yan goes pale and immediately withdraws. With most Awakeners now eliminated and only a few top seeds left, the still fuming Principal Lin switches to Biao and Ming's feed as they enter floor 5. And the adult Ghost Claw Bear that appears in the arena makes everyone want to curse again. What in the world? Who put this thing in the trial tower? Forget freshly awakened Awakeners, even a full party of veterans can't guarantee a win against an adult Ghost Claw Bear. Who is the person that designed this year's trial tower? Word is someone important came down from the top. Meanwhile, inside a secret facility in Shanghai City, high-definition screens cover every wall of the observation room. Ai watches the near-total elimination playing out on the screen sand, lets out a quiet sigh of disappointment. Looks like this year's trial tower ends here. Not a single Awakener in Shanghai City can break through floor 5. Beside her, Dr. Wang looks like he's about to cry. Well, of course not. Who puts an adult Ghost Claw Bear in a trial tower? Even an S-rank Awakener freshly awakened can't possibly go one-on-one against a Ghost Claw Bear. Ni simply tucks a strand of hair behind her ear and says coolly, "Is that so? This is just our basic screening requirement." Dr. Wang goes speechless. Ni absently chews the end of her pen, her voice flat. "It's just a shame. This year's Awakeners can't even clear floor 5. Forget about the hidden floor. I went through all that trouble to set a trap for that one, and it seems like it was for nothing." Inside the trial tower on floor 5, Qin faces the Ghost Claw Bear's raw, crushing presence. He doesn't rush in blindly. The Ghost Claw Bear is built like a small mountain, its coarse fur as thick as armor plating, its savage eyes locked onto the intruder with pure hatred. Having made it this far, walking away without even trying, that's not Qin's style. Much like its massive build, the Ghost Claw Bear is a heavy-hitting, high-health brute of a strength-type monster. Its movements are explosive, but not fast. To win, agile footwork is everything. Tidestep activates, and Qin's movement speed spikes. The Ghost Claw Bear lets out a deep rumble and charges. Its attack pattern is brutally simple: lunge, grab, and slam. The lunge, the Ghost Claw Bear throws its full weight forward like a predator going for the kill. Before a second advancement, even a fully stacked defensive tank cannot absorb that hit. Qin holds his ground, watching the bear close the distance to 3 or 4 meters. Then he leaps hard to the side, dodging the lethal blow. Without a moment's pause, he immediately dashes around to the bear's rear. The grab, the Ghost Claw Bear's lunge misses, and it immediately throws out 2 massive arms to seize Qin in a bear hug. If those arms close around him, he is done for. But Qin has already circled to its back, the bear's exact blind spot. Now, Qin's eyes sharpen. Ghostfire Venom activates. The spear tip ignites with swirling toxic flame, and he drives it hard into the Ghost Claw Bear's back. Status: target afflicted with Ghost Fire Venom. One clean strike, and Qin immediately leaps back to create distance. In that same flash of a moment, the Ghost Claw Bear drops its full weight backward. A thunderous crash, and the stone floor craters on impact. The slam. This move looks clumsy, but its killing power is devastating. At the same time, the Ghost Fire Venom Qin applied begins to take hold. The thick fur on the bear's back ignites, dealing burn damage while the poison also takes effect. Driven wild by the fire and venom, the Ghost Claw Bear throws itself at Qin without restraint, and Qin uses Tidestep to dance just out of reach. From here, it's just a matter of finding the right opening to stack another layer of Ghost Fire Venom, then pull back and let the damage drain the bear dry. It's only a matter of time. Biao, who also reaches floor 5, isn't nearly as lucky. As an S-rank melee coiling dragon monk, the moment Biao lays eyes on the Ghost Claw Bear, he charges straight in with his staff, wanting to show off in front of everyone watching. The Ghost Claw Bear doesn't give him the chance. One swipe of that massive paw, and Biao is sent out in a flash of white light, eliminated instantly. Ming, on the other side, doesn't fare much better. He spent 3 years following Qin around and humbly absorbing everything he could, and it shows. He doesn't blindly charge. That caution lets him narrowly dodge the Ghost Claw Bear's first strike. He sprints to the bear's rear and swings his sword, unleashing a furious assault against a giant monster with slow, clunky movements. Getting behind it is the key, something Qin had told him before. Unfortunately, Ming only learned the surface of it. When the crowd sees Ming successfully dodge the attack and circle to the bear's rear, everyone erupts in excitement. That's our school's top talent right there. Such smooth footwork, combined with an S-rank class, he might actually clear floor 5. Principal Lin strokes his chin, grinning wide. Our school has finally produced a real talent. Ming's future is limitless, but Ms. Tang watches the same scene and frowns. Ming is getting too greedy with his attacks. His damage output is impressive, sure, but against a Ghost Claw Bear, a boss this savage, you can never stay in the same position for too long. And just as she feared, on the main screen the Ghost Claw Bear lets out a thunderous roar and sits backward without warning. Ming, in the middle of going all out, has nowhere to go. He watches helplessly as the Ghost Claw Bear crashes down on top of him. Ming panics, the curse dying on his lips before it even forms, and he goes down in history as the first Trial Tower challenger ever killed by being sat on. Principal Lin's wide grin freezes instantly. He grinds out a few words through clenched teeth. Director Zhang, how many are left? Director Zhang scrambles to answer. Our school still has 2. One is S-rank Yan, and the other is Qin. Director Zhang's eyes go wide with disbelief. Principal Lin, barely listening, says impatiently, switch the main screen to Yan's feed. Now. Director Zhang doesn't even think twice. He switches it immediately. The main screen cuts to Yan's feed. She stands with a longbow, the only agility-based long-range S-rank awakener in the group. On the limited floor space of floor 5, Yan moves with nimble precision, orbiting the outer edge of the arena, keeping a wide, safe gap from the Ghost Claw Bear while her longbow fires in a steady, relentless stream, arrow after arrow landing on the bear. Her class's signature skill, Bloodmark Arrow Rain. Yan's bow attack may be low, Buch hit applies a bleed effect, and the Ghost Claw Bear's health ticks down bit by bit. Kite and run! That's kite and run! Yan's distance control is absolutely flawless. A wave of admiration bursts from the crowd. Yes, Yan, that's perfect. Principal Lin this time is careful not to say too much. He leads the applause with a red face. Every eye in the crowd locks onto Yan's feed. Even Ms. Tang finds herself drawn to watching Yan's footwork. At this rate, as long as nothing goes wrong, she might actually wear the Ghost Claw Bear down. Then Ms. Tang glances down at Qin's feed, and her eyes go wide. Qin moves with total fluidity, every strike precise and clean. By comparison, the Ghost Claw Bear, now fully enraged, looks like a clown. It can't even graze him. But what truly shocks Ms. Tangus, the Ghost Claw Bear's health bar, it's almost gone. How is that possible? What kind of damage is this? No matter how hard she thinks, Ms. Tang cannot figure out how a blank slate class is pushing this much output in this little time. On the main screen in the school plaza, only Yan remains on display. Out in that open arena, relying entirely on Bloodmark Arrow Rain, Yan is the only one able to deal consistent damage to the Ghost Claw Bear, grinding its health down to just under half. Yan truly is the pride of our school. I think she can actually clear floor 5 and take the top score. The spark of hope reignites in Principal Lin's eyes, but right then something goes wrong on screen. An arrow aimed at the Ghost Claw Bear's body veers off, straight into its head. In an instant, a critical weak point damage number explodes. The Ghost Claw Bear lets out a thunderous roar and enters a full frenzy. Body low to the ground, it charges at Yan with speed more than double what it had before. Yan instinctively tries to dodge, but in this open arena, there is nowhere to go. She can only watch as the enraged Ghost Claw Bear's paw comes crashing down, and she dissolves into a stream of white light. Shanghai First School Awakener Yan, eliminated. Final floor reached. 5. As Yan's feed slowly fades to gray, the last S-rank Awakener is done. Who designed this year's trial tower? One wrong hit and you're instantly wiped. Nobody could beat that Ghost Claw Bear. Principal Lin has completely lost his composure, ranting without any care for appearances. Wait, There's still someone in the tower? Isn't everyone eliminated? Just as the crowd begins getting up to leave, the main screen automatically switches to a new feed. On screen, a white-clad young man grips a spear, moving with extraordinary agility, always positioned perfectly in the Ghost Claw Bear's blind spots, while the bear's health bar sits at less than half, and still falling. Who is that? Didn't First High only produce 3 S-rank Awakeners this time? How is this possible? The crowd stares in disbelief, but some of the new Awakeners have already recognized him. Wait, how can it be him? Then, Ming's voice cuts through the crowd. He has to be cheating. How could someone with a blank slate class ever get past the undying tree spirit? Ming's words hit a nerve. Every one of them has been through the trial tower. Every floor is brutal, merciless. He cheated. He had to have cheated. The principal needs to punish him. But even as the accusations fly, the Ghost Claw Bear's HP bar keeps dropping. Tick by tick. Ming suddenly points. Look, that HP bar isn't going down from attacks at all. He's definitely cheating. Ming's words set off a wave of outrage. People shoot to their feet, and the crowd roars together, "Cheater!" because deep down, they refuse to accept it, that someone with a blank slate class could outperform them. Meanwhile, on the 5th floor of the trial tower, I've stacked a full 10 layers of ghost fire venom on the Ghost Claw Bear. Its fur is almost entirely engulfed in flames. The Ghost Claw Bear can't hold on, and crashes to the ground. The massive experience surge shoots me straight to level 15. Without hesitation, I perform the offering ritual. The Ghost Claw Bear's soul flame offering succeeds. Innate skill acquired. Savage charge. Dash at a target. Stun on hit. A mobility skill. I'm thrilled. Then a voice rings out. Congratulations on clearing all floors of the trial tower. Do you wish to unlock the hidden floor? The hidden floor will not be broadcast. That stops me cold. Every trial tower has always had exactly 5 floors. What is the designer thinking? But I'm already here. Might as well take a look. I'll take on the hidden floor. The words barely leave my mouth, and I'm instantly standing on a mountain peak that pierces the clouds. Everywhere around me, a sea of bleached bones and monster remains. What kind of creature is hiding in here? I freeze. Then, from behind a massive bone giant, a pair of enormous eyes peers out, curiously watching me. But those eyes have golden slit pupils, and from behind the bones a pair of wings emerges. Small, young, but unmistakably proud. I swallow hard. Good lord, who put a dragon hatchling in here? Dragonkin, one of the most terrifying species among all monsters, born at the top of the food chain. Even the weakest dragon hatchling carries the strength of a gold rank boss. Looks like this is as far as I go, I mutter, half resigned. Wondering who designed this year's trial tower doesn't matter anymore. I know exactly what I'm facing. This harmless looking hatchling is something my weapon can't even scratch. One breath and I'm ash. I put away my crude iron spear and walk toward it. Even if it eliminates me with one breath, so be it. But to my surprise, the young dragon shows no aggression at all. It just stares at me with those wide, curious eyes, watching intently. I walk all the way up to it, and it still doesn't react. And then, as I lock eyes with this dragon hatchling, a prompt appears before me. The juvenile obsidian dragon offers you a bond. Do you wish to form a bond? In that instant, my jaw drops. What? Every cell in my body floods with pure electric joy. This is happening to me. Forming a bond with a monster is extraordinarily rare. Once sealed, the two parties are bound as one. Inseparable. Normally, only beast tamers have the ability to do this, and even among beast tamers, those who have bonded with a dragon can be counted on one hand across the entire world. If I hesitate even a single second, it would be an insult to the dragon. The next moment, the bonding ritual takes shape between me and the hatchling. Since the hatchling initiated the bond, the ritual goes smoothly. Moments later, a new prompt appears. Bond with obsidian dragon successfully formed. I feel it, a faint but unmistakable connection, as if I can sense its thoughts. Then it hits me. I understand why the hatchling chose me. It's because of my one-of-a-kind trait, fractured divinity. Only creatures of the highest bloodline can sense divinity, that supreme, transcendent force. In other words, this young dragon sees me as an actual god, and to bond with a true, divine being, even for dragonkin, is the highest of honors. One human, one dragon, both convinced they just hit the jackpot. The moment the bond is complete, another prompt appears. Congratulations on clearing the trial tower. Hidden. Floor cleared. You will be transported out. Do you wish to recall your bonded creature, the obsidian dragon, to your summoning space? I immediately confirm. At the same moment, in the trial tower's central control room, Nai walks in and sees the notification on the screen. This year's trial tower has concluded. All participating awakeners have been transported out. Nai strolls to the control panel, completely unsurprised. An adult ghost claw bear was never something a freshly awakened awakener could handle. The hidden floor she worked so hard to set up, no one was ever going to reach it. The juvenile obsidian dragon had just been captured in a joint operation with the research institute, and since the research funding hadn't been approved yet, she just stashed it in the hidden floor. A juvenile dragon, sure, but still absolutely beyond what any new awakener could handle, or so she thought. But just as Nai operates the teleportation circle to bring the hatchling back out of the tower, she freezes. Wait, where's my dragon? Where's my dragon? Na panics. She pulls up the trial tower's hidden 6th floor footage. Her palms are already starting to sweat. She pulls up the surveillance log. Good news, there's only one entry. Across all of Zhanghai City's trial tower, only one person cleared the 5th floor ghost claw bear and reached the hidden floor. Someone actually killed the 5th floor ghost claw bear? Ni's eyes narrow, but when she sees what happens next in the recording, she bolts upright. What in the world? He's forming a bond with a hatchling. Who is this guy? Is he out of his mind? Brand new awakener, bonding with a dragon? How? And it actually worked. Ni is beyond words. A brand new awakener just casually bonded with a dragon they worked so hard to capture, stuffed it into a summoning space, and walked off with it. Ni is on the verge of tears. None of this makes any sense. When they brought the hatchling back to the Institute, beast tamers at level 200 couldn't form a bond with it. The dragon simply wouldn't accept them. Yet on this footage, this freshly awakened, nobody does it effortlessly, without a hitch, just walks up and bonds with the hatchling, like it's nothing. Who is this person? Ni immediately starts searching on the control panel. This cannot get out. If it does, every faction across every nation with an interest in dragon hatchlings will come knocking, and the kid's life will be in danger. This is a crisis. She needs to contact the examiner immediately. Meanwhile, back at First High's awakening ceremony, the announcement of my clear goes public, and it's met with a storm of disbelief and outrage. Demands ring out to investigate the run and punish the cheater. Don't let a trash class ruin this year's trial tower. Meanwhile, Examiner Yang is also caught in an impossible position. He personally oversaw the entire awakening ceremony and trial tower. Even he doesn't believe it, that someone with a blank slate class could clear the trial tower's 5th floor, but the tower has never made a mistake. Then his communicator cuts in without warning. Is this First High's examiner? I'm Ni, the designer of this trial tower. Examiner Yang goes rigid. In terms of both rank and authority, Ni is far above him. Her tone leaves no room for argument. I am ordering you to lock this down immediately. No one is to know that anyone reached the hidden floor. This trial tower has 5 floors, and 5 floors only. No hidden floor. Are we clear? Yang nods quickly, and something clicks. He's seen it before, in past trial towers. Awakeners who performed so brilliantly they were flagged by the authorities. Any information about those people was classified without exception. The call ends. Yang's expression hardens. As the official examiner of this awakening ceremony, I have received confirmation from the trial tower system. I hereby officially declare this trial tower ran without any irregularities, and without any cheating or foul play of any kind. I will now personally present the special reward for the top scorer of this trial tower. The ceremony falls dead silent. The crowd, which was shouting just moments ago, is stunned speechless. Right then, I'm transported out of the trial tower. Cameras snap toward me from every direction. Yang steps forward and places an envelope in my hand. This is a weapon exchange voucher for Zhanghai City's equipment vault, along with 100,000 gold coins. With this voucher, you may claim any gold rank gear below level 30. A rush of excitement hits me. Gold rank. Gear. Didn't expect the officials to go this big. While I'm still riding the high, Ming stares at the voucher in my hand, that weapon exchange voucher, with barely concealed fury. Why should gold rank gear go to someone like him? It's completely wasted. The crowd rallies behind Ming. So what if he ranked first? That garbage class will fall apart the moment he hits real combat. The officials are just handing a gold rank voucher to someone like that? It's just casting pearls before swine. The jeers and doubts keep building. I let out a quiet laugh, shake my head, and walk away from the crowd. Then, the moment I step into my tiny apartment, a wave of urgency hits my mind. Not good. The hatchling is coming out. Before I can even agree to release it from the summoning space, a shimmering summoning circle explodes into existence in my cramped apartment. This little thing let itself out. The obsidian dragon hatchling's slit eyes scan the room with pure curiosity. Right now it's roughly a meter long, but it already makes the apartment feel cramped. I press a hand to my forehead. Raising a dragon is clearly going to be expensive, but the little one doesn't seem bothered by the small space at all. Instead, it sniffs its way curiously through every corner of the apartment, flaps its wings once, hops onto the couch, and curls up in a lazy coil. I'm oddly touched to a dragon that doesn't judge by wealth. Before I can even exhale with relief, the hatchling locks its eyes on me and lets out 2 pitiful little cries. It's hungry. I immediately tear open the fridge and dig through everything. Thankfully, there are a few frozen cuts of meat. I get to work in the narrow kitchen, moving fast. The hatchling sits on top of the fridge, watching me like a model student. Before I can even plate the freshly cooked meat, the hatchling snatches it and swallows it whole. The appetite on this thing is absurd. What was supposed to last me at least 2 weeks is gone in one meal. I can't help but shake my head. Raising a dragon really will drain my wallet. Once it's full though, the little one becomes surprisingly well behaved. It coils up on the couch and falls asleep almost immediately. I take the chance to check its stats, and what I see stops me cold. This hatchling is only level 5, yet it has a full 30,000 HP and 2 innate skills. The Dragonkin skill alone is already S rank, and the other, Obsidian Scales, hits double S rank, nearly immune to all elemental damage and status effects. Its attack and defense stats completely eclipse mine. No wonder Dragonkin are monsters. Even as hatchlings, they rival gold rank bosses. If one of these ever reaches full maturity, it's a walking natural disaster. Even this juvenile obsidian dragon, with just its absurd defense and HP alone, already outclasses every single new awakener in this batch, and that's before we even talk about its dragon breath. With this little one by my side, don't I basically have an unkillable living tank? The thought makes my fingers itch. After all, I bonded with it. That makes me its partner. Hey, Come here. I send the thought out. The sleeping hatchling cracks one eye open, gives me a look of pure dismissal, then closes it again, as if it heard nothing. Back to peaceful sleep. I'm left completely deflated. It definitely received my message. It just couldn't be bothered to respond. Am I doing it wrong? I sit up, open the terminal on the desk, log into First High's database, and start searching through Beast Tamer fundamentals. At the same time, in Zhanghai City's central control room, Nai's slender fingers are also flying across her own terminal. It doesn't take long. She pulls up my complete profile. Ni leans back and stretches, arms over her head. A blank slate class, and somehow bonds with a dragon? The next morning, I head straight to the Zhanghai equipment vault, voucher in hand. At the entrance, security checks my credentials, and I step inside. Rows upon rows of gear fill the vault, sorted by level and class. But that's not what I'm here for. I need an offhand weapon. A war shield. Pure kiting can only take you so far. You need something that can both block and hit back. I make my way to the shield section, where shields of every shape and size line the shelves, row after row. My eyes move along the war shields, until one name catches my eye. Tiger Fang War Shield. I step closer and check its stats. They appear instantly. Strong block effect, damage reduction, bonus trait, counter on block. A successful block boosts counterattack damage by 30%. A gold rank item through and through. This shield is going to be Qin's lifeline as he tears through every leveling zone around Zhanghai City. After going through the thorough checkout process, Qin walks out of the vault with a Tiger Fang War Shield in hand. Out on the streets of Zhanghai City, the city is swarming with people. Today is the first day new awakeners officially become professional fighters. Every guild is loudly recruiting. Free agents are pulling together teams on every corner. But most of all, there are vendors everywhere. Because for them, a fresh batch of awakeners who need starter gear is a massive opportunity. Not everyone can afford full sets at the auction house. A street vendor in a denim jacket spots Qin and steps right into his path, eyes gleaming. You're one of the new awakeners, right? Want a map of the leveling zones around Zhanghai City? One look at Qin's age and plain clothes tells the vendor everything. 50 gold coins each, freshest maps of the year. Qin doesn't say no. Leveling zones around Zhanghai City shift constantly. Dungeon rifts open in new locations. Monsters go rogue in different spots every year. Qin flips 100 gold coin at the vendor. One map, and your latest intel on where the guilds are holding their zones. The vendor gives him a knowing look, then quietly slips an envelope from his jacket and hands it over. You know your stuff, he murmurs. We only got this last night. The 4 major guilds, their territories, the zones they're locking down. It's all in there. Those of us just trying to survive, as free agents, stay far away from them. Exactly what Qin needed to know. Every cycle, the 4 major guilds openly claim entire zones for themselves and level up their new recruits there. Plenty of other guilds do the same. The best thing Qin can do is stay out of their way. Less attention, less trouble. He opens the envelope. The top headlines are all about the new S-rank awakeners. First High's S-rank awakener Ming joins the Tyrant Guild, one of the 4 major guilds. First High's S-rank awakener Biao joins the Black Eagle Guild. And then, Qin's own name. Qin's eyes narrow. He turns the 2 names over in his mind. Biao had been openly gunning for Qin since their days at First High, never hiding his hostility. But Ming is different. Ming is dangerous in a quieter way. Qin had sensed it long ago. Ming followed him around constantly at First High, and Qin could always tell that this person ran deep, but he didn't expect this level of pettiness. Every kindness Qin showed him, Ming saw as condescension. Now Ming has joined the Tyrant Guild, flagged as a high-priority recruit. Knowing Ming, this won't end here. But this time, Ming is the one in the open. Qin is the shadow. Tyrant Guild, Qin murmurs. The wealthiest of the 4 major guilds. Its Master Gen controls assets worth hundreds of billions. Every resource the Tyrant Guild has was bought. Its elite members are paid handsomely, and when it comes to their priority recruits, they spare no expense. It makes sense that Ming, an S-rank Frostblade swordsman, caught their eye. But even as one of the 4 major guilds, the Tyrant Guild can't reasonably throw its reputation away just to go after Qin, a free agent. That gives Qin room to grow, fast and under the radar. He skips the rest of the headlines and pulls up the latest zone map. According to the current leveling zone layout around Zhanghai City, there are several low-danger leveling zones suited for Qin at 30-plus level range. Northern Wasteland. Monsters, Mutant, Wolf Pack. Abandoned Mine. Monsters, Corpse Venom Bats. Blue Mountain Ruins. Monsters, Large Goblin Tribe. Gale Graveyard. Monsters, Skeleton Soldiers. For most awakeners, early grinding is about quality, not quantity. Low-level mobs in the early game are just stepping stones to the next stage. But for Qin, every species of monster can yield a new trait or skill through a soul flame offering. So whether it's a low-level mob or a high-level beast, more variety is always better. Clearing all the monsters in every one of those low-level zones is something Qin is absolutely going to do. It's just a matter of order. The moment Qin sees Corpse Venom Bats under Abandoned Mine, his eyes light up. Back in the trial tower, he got a real taste of how powerful Ghostfire Venom could be. Ever since then, the Venom stacking build has been pulling at him, and If he can stack additional venom types on top of that, it'll be a game changer, especially against boss-tier monsters. The abandoned mine also works in his favor. It's underground, the tunnels are a maze, and very few awakeners would choose to go here. Perfect for staying off the radar. No time to waste. Qin walks into a potion shop on the street and spends a solid chunk of gold on 2 sets of HP potions, 1 set of MP potions, and a set of antidotes. Fully stocked, he heads for the abandoned mine. The closest gate is Jianghai City's north gate. To defend against monster attacks, the entire city is encircled by a reinforced barrier wall laced with defensive formations. Only 4 gates allow entry or exit, north, south, east, and west. Each gate is heavily guarded by official forces. Every awakener entering or leaving must be logged. Word is, it's not just about monsters, it's also about keeping out enemy awakeners from other nations. After clearing all the checkpoints, Qin steps outside as a professional awakener for the very first time. Stretching before him is an endless, open wilderness. What was once human civilization eroded over hundreds of years, devoured by monsters and dungeons, leaves only faint, ghostly outlines behind. As Qin moves further from Jianghai City, the crowd of awakeners thins. Qin opens his status panel. Class, God-forsaken. Level, 15. HP, 1950. MP, 230. HP, 1950. Class, Con, 50. Con, 50. Savage. D rank, Blat Core Regeneration, S rank. Ghost Fire Venom, A rank. Skills, Tide Step, B rank. Boiling Beast Blood, A rank. Savage Charge, B rank. Now that Qin has equipped the Tiger Fang War Shield, his def and HP have both jumped significantly. On the trait side, he's collected Savage, Light, Core Regeneration, and Ghost Fire Venom, 3 passive traits, plus 3 active skills including Tide Step and Boiling Beast Blood. Compared to the blank slate class he started with, the gap is enormous. With all these traits drawn from various monsters, Qin is confident he can hold his own against an A-rank awakener right now. The only real weakness is damage output. Outside of Boiling Beast Blood, he has no other offensive skills, just the raw damage boost from the Frenzy state. Then it hits him, back in the Trial Tower. He spent flame points to upgrade the Frenzy skill into Boiling Beast Blood. That's what flame points are really for. Now that he's cleared the Trial Tower, he should have a solid stockpile. Check flame points. A prompt appears instantly. Flame. Points acquired. 85. View upgradable skills. Every trait and skill in his panel lights up. Savage, upgradable. Tide Step, upgradable. Everything else, every other trait and skill, shows gray. Insufficient flame points. So that's how it works. Each upgrade tier costs exponentially more than the last. Back in the Trial Tower, upgrading B-rank Frenzy to A-rank Boiling Beast Blood cost 10 flame points. Now, pushing Boiling Beast Blood from A to S rank would cost a full 100. Everything he earned clearing the tower, still not enough. And Light Core Regeneration, which is already S rank, needs a full 1000 points to reach double S. The priority right now is clear, collect as many flame points as possible. Qin remembers, a single goblin kill gave him just 1 point. Killing over 100 small Ghostfire spiders only yielded about 10. Every point counts. And as he keeps collecting more traits, upgrading skills and traits will require careful choices. Spend every point where it matters most. That said, upgrading Boiling Beast Blood is absolutely worth it. This skill, exclusive to beast-type monsters, instantly spikes damage output, and even among skills of the same type, it stands in a class of its own. And Qin's edge is exactly this. Traits and skills that no human awakener can normally obtain. Savage from goblins, Light Core Regeneration from tree spirits, Ghostfire Venom from Ghostfire spiders. These are Qin's one-of-a-kind advantage. Following the map, Qin makes his way to the abandoned mine. It sits in the middle of nowhere, its entrance half collapsed. The other half is held up by loose rubble, barely. No wonder most people skip this place. Even Qin has to give himself a little pep talk before stepping inside. Scout the outer area first. If anything looks like it's about to cave in, get out fast. He pulls a glass tube from his pack. Inside, a firefly-like creature sits quietly, its soft glow lighting up about 3 to 4 meters around Qin. These are called glow bugs, another mutated species, picked up from a street vendor. Cheap, reliable, long-lasting light, a must-have for underground dungeons of all kinds. Glow bug in hand, Qin moves step by careful step down the shaft stairway into the mine's depths. The battered stone walls speak to ruins at least several hundred years old. It doesn't take long before something appears on the ground. Dark, grainy droppings. Bat sign. Qin clips the glow bug to his belt, draws his crude iron spear in one hand, and raises the Tiger Fang war shield with the other. The faint bug light guides him forward. Then, a burst of wings from the tunnel ceiling ahead. The next second, dark shapes dive straight at him. At least a dozen corpse venom bats, each the size of a hawk. Qin snaps his head down and raises the Tiger Fang war shield over his head and chest. A series of heavy impacts ring out, but Qin only stumbles back half a step and takes 0 damage. That's the power of a gold rank shield. Its strong block completely absorbs the entire ambush. The bats slam into the shield like hitting a wall. Several tumble to the ground, stunned. Qin wastes no time. Spear up, he He drives it hard into the nearest corpse venom bat at his feet. The blade sinks into flesh, and a damage number bursts above it, -157. Its HP bar appears. Corpse venom bat, level 11. HP, 432. Each bat has around 400 HP. One hit takes out 3/4 of it. Qin follows up, instantly with a second thrust, and the bat drops. A white light washes over Qin. His experience bar visibly ticks up. For Qin's current level, that's decent XP, but one bat dying sends the rest scattering in all directions. In the dark, cramped tunnel, there's nowhere to dodge. Bat slips behind him and bites deep into his back. -29. Not much damage, but a prompt flashes. You have entered corpse venom state. Stun gauge is building. Corpse venom. Qin's vision immediately starts to swim. His head grows heavier with every second. That's the corpse venom effect. The poison damage per tick is low, but it builds a stun gauge over time. If an antidote isn't used fast enough, once that gauge maxes out, the target is locked in a full, paralytic stun. Qin immediately backs against the wall, shield up to protect his front, and pulls out an antidote with his free hand, and drinks it straight. His vision starts to clear. The damage over time fades, stun gauge reduced. One antidote isn't enough to fully clear it. Qin slams a second one, and the corpse venom is finally gone. This venom is seriously nasty, and that only makes Qin more determined to farm the corpse venom trait. By the faint glow of the bug light, Qin's hand finds a section of wall behind him, with a hollow recess, just big enough for one person. He slips into it immediately, shield raised, covering nearly his entire body, other hand driving the spear forward. The angle is limited, but with this many bats swarming, every thrust lands. To push the kill speed higher, Qin activates Boiling Beast Blood. Each kill refreshes the duration. His output doubles instantly. Soon, the tunnel goes silent. The floor around Qin is carpeted with bat corpses. Soul Flame Offering, corpse venom bats. Wisps of faint flame rise from the bodies and flow into Qin. Corpse venom bat soul flame offering successful. Flame points +1. Corpse venom bat soul flame offering successful. Flame points +1. The notifications keep coming, but the one line Qin wants to hear never comes. The corpse venom trait isn't going to drop easy. Qin wipes the blood from his spear tip and pushes deeper into the mine, cutting through wave after wave of bats. What makes it worse is the layout. In this pitch-dark maze of tunnels, the bats always seem to sense Qin before he reaches them. Every nest he approaches, they swarm him first, and one careless moment means another bite and another corpse venom proc. But the XP is solid. White light keeps flowing into Qin. His level climbs to 17. He offers up every last soul flame from the bat corpses. The success notifications pile up, and then finally, a sound Qin has been waiting for. Trait acquired. Corpse venom. Got you. Qin grins and pulls up his trait panel. There it is. A green corpse venom entry sitting right there. Corpse venom. Rank B. Attack supply corpse venom, dealing poison damage over time and building the stun gauge. The real deal, straight from the source. Qin knows exactly how this feels from the other side, and against a human awakener, it will hit even harder. The ultimate crowd control venom. Just then, Qin, already deep in the abandoned mine, feels a sudden chill run down his spine. He looks up. Two eyes, the size of light bulbs, hang directly above him, staring straight down. Qin raises the glow bug and sees a corpse venom bat hanging upside down from the rock, except 3 times the size of the regular ones. Its white fangs glint like daggers. A boss. Qin's focus snaps to attention. He raises the Tiger Fang war shield, guard up toward the ceiling. A dark wind tears through the tunnel, and the massive bat launches itself directly at Qin, and slams into the shield with a force far beyond anything the small bats managed. The impact sends Qin stumbling, sprawling to the ground. In the faint glow, those dagger-length fangs drive straight for his throat. Qin jerks the shield up to intercept, and the shockwave rattles through his entire arm. The raw power of this thing is insane. Qin is pinned under its weight, unable to push back, and to make things worse, in the struggle, the glowbug tube clipped to his belt must have hit something, because it shatters with a sharp crack. Bad news. The glowbug barely flies a meter before the giant bat snaps it out of the air. The mine goes completely dark. Before Qin can reach his backup, a rush of foul air hits him from the front and slams hard into his shield. -197. Even in full block stance, he bleeds that much. But the mine is pitch black now. Can't see a thing. Qin thrusts the spear forward and hits nothing. In the dark, the corpse venom bat king is completely at home. Qin can only track it by the sound of its wings. Another gust of fetid air. Incoming. Qin counts in silence. Now, he triggers Ghostfire Venom. His crude iron spear erupts in flame, lighting up the tunnel. The Bat King is right there. Qin drives the spear into it. -134. Target is burning. Target is poisoned. 2 notifications. Fire catches across the Bat King's body, blazing bright in the pitch-black cave. Nowhere to hide now. Qin, shield up, steps forward hard, spear, driving into the Bat King again and again. -137. Burn damage -35. -129. Burn damage -35. Thrust damage, stacking with burn and poison, shreds through the Bat King's HP bar. Of course, a creature that lives in a damp cave is naturally weak to fire. Completely engulfed, the Bat King thrashes wildly in the narrow cave, but can't put itself out. Without the cover of darkness, the burning Bat King becomes a glowing target right in front of Qin, and Qin presses in, shield first, spear wrapped in ghostfire venom, dealing hit after hit of mixed damage. The corpse venom Bat King's HP bar is almost gone. Press the advantage. Qin activates boiling beast blood. Power surges through him. Damage and attack speed both spike hard. Minus 219, minus 238. The corpse venom Bat King lets out one final cry and falls. The boss of the abandoned mine goes down to a crude iron spear. A brilliant white light pours into Qin, pushing him up a full level. At the same moment, a soul flame rises from the Bat King's remains. Soul flame offering, corpse venom Bat King. Qin initiates the ritual without hesitation. Corpse venom Bat King soul flame offering successful. Flame points plus 15. Trait acquired sonar scan. Unlocks linked skill, ultrasonic lock-on. Qin blinks. He didn't expect to pull a trait from the Bat King. No wonder, back in that dark tunnel, the Bat King always found him with pinpoint accuracy, even anticipating his movements. Scientifically speaking, bats use ultrasound to map their environment and locate prey. Turns out these corpse venom bats inherited that ability. And then some. Qin checks the sonar scan entry. His skill panel now shows a brand new B-rank skill, sonar scan.rank. B. Effect. Emits high frequency sound waves in all directions to map the surrounding area and detect approximate enemy positions. Effective range, 30 meters. A skill built for getting the jump on your enemies. And it came from a low-level zone bat. A prompt flashes in front of Qin. Current flame points, 135. Do you wish to upgrade a skill? Right. Clearing the abandoned mine pushed his stockpile high enough to upgrade an A-rank skill. But right now he has 3 upgradable options. A-rank boiling beast blood, B-rank tide step, and B-rank sonar scan. After a moment of thought, Qin decides. Boiling beast blood is his main damage tool, yes, but sonar scan lets him detect threats before they reach him, monsters or other awakeners, and knowing first beats reacting every time. Upgrade sonar scan. Qin spends 10 flame points. Sonar scan B rank upgrades to ultrasonic scan a rank. Rank A effect emits high-frequency ultrasonic waves in all directions, mapping nearby terrain faster and locating enemies with greater precision. Bonus, in enclosed spaces, effectiveness doubles. Effective range, 50 meters. The range jumps from 30 to 50, and the precision improves as well. Still not enough. Qin grits his teeth. Keep upgrading. Another prompt appears. Spend 100 flame points to upgrade ultrasonic scanner rank. Confirmed. 100 flame points spent. Ultrasonic scanner rank upgrades to ultrasonic lock-on S rank. Rank S effect emits ultrasonic waves at a frequency undetectable by humans, rapidly mapping the surrounding terrain and pinpointing the exact position and movement path of every nearby enemy. Bonus includes enemies in stealth or hidden states, but not those in a void state. Effective range 100 meters. That's an S rank skill. Qin immediately feels like those 100 flame points were the best investment he's ever made. The range triples to a full 100 meters. And now it picks up enemies in stealth and hidden states too. The perfect counter to any assassin build. Qin's 3 years of combat simulation class in high school taught him one thing. Assassins are the hardest class to deal with. A shadow assassin with stealth can always land the first blow, but with ultrasonic lock-on, it doesn't matter which assassin tries to ambush Qin now, it's almost impossible. And a 100-meter detection radius means Qin can steer clear of high-danger roaming monsters before they even know he's there. Whether he's grinding or running dungeons, everything gets safer. And all of this from one abandoned mine. Over the next 3 days, Qin, having gotten a taste of what's possible, goes and clears every low-level zone around Zhanghai City. Northern, Wasteland, Soul Flame offering from Mutant Wolfpack, yields trait, Bloodthirst, C rank. Melee attacks steal 5% of damage dealt as HP. Blue Mountain Ruins, Goblin Shaman Soul Flame offering yields trait, Focus, D rank, NT plus 100. Gale Graveyard, Skeleton Soldier Soul Flame offering, yields trait, Deathmark, D rank, Poison Resistance plus 100. 4 leveling zones, Qin hits level 25 and picks up several pieces of low-level gear, rusted chestplate, leather bracers, rotwood greaves, beast-hide boots, all low-grade iron tier, nothing beyond base def, no bonus stats at all. But it completes a full set. Equipped, Qin's stats take another significant leap. Godforsaken. Level 25. HP, 2920. MP, 450. ATK, 271. Def 470. Con, 50. MP, 105. Starting trait, Fractured Divinity. Traits. Savage D rank, Light Core Regeneration S rank, Ghostfire Venom A rank, Bloodthirst C rank. Skills, Tide Step B rank, Boiling Beast Blood A rank, Savage Charge B rank, Ultrasonic Lock-On S rank. While Qin keeps grinding every low-level zone in Zhanghai City, collecting traits through Soul Flame offerings, his movements don't go unnoticed. Look, it's Qin, the so-called top seed, stuck crawling through low-level zones. Well, what did you expect? He woke up with a trash class. High-level zones would just be suicide. Such a waste. If I were him, I'd just quit being an awakener altogether. Stay in the city. Become a cook or a blacksmith. A trash class is a trash class. No matter how hard you grind, you'll never catch up. These comments, posted without a single thought that Qin might see them, go up openly in the class channel of the communicator, and some of them don't even stop there. They tag Qin directly. Does our former top seed need someone to carry him? Call me daddy and I'll take you through a B-rank dungeon. The name attached to that message, Feng. Honestly, Qin has no memory of who that is. Feng, he says quietly, turning the name over. But from this moment on, he won't forget it. Scrolling up in sharp contrast to all the mockery, is a flood of praise aimed at the three S-rank awakeners, Biao, Ming, and Yan. I heard Ming joined the Tyrant Guild, one of the 4 major guilds. We're all counting on you, Ming. Ming replies in the channel, casually and confidently, relax, we were all classmates. Anyone with half a brain, stick with me going forward. I can't promise everything, but you'll do better than a certain someone. Ming's appearance sends the class channel into a frenzy, and every backhanded word he typed immediately turns the conversation against Qin. Don't even bring up that waste, it's embarrassing, he's dragging our whole class down. Exactly, and Ming is already squad leader of the Tyrant Guild's Zhanghai branch. He's that busy now, and he still remembers us? Word is there's a desert out there somewhere. A new dungeon just opened up, and the danger rating hasn't been set yet. Will Ming lead the Zhanghai branch to get the first clear? Ming doesn't hide his position for a single second. First, clear, obviously. I run the Zhanghai branch. Every new awakener under Tyrant Guild answers to me. That dungeon's first clear belongs to us. Ming is the best. Buried in all that shameless flattery, Qin catches one line that matters. A new dungeon has appeared somewhere in the desert. That's important intel. Dungeon rifts are unpredictable by nature. A new dungeon can open anywhere, and its danger rating is almost always unknown at first. Because of that, the city's official authority offers serious rewards for first clears. And many dungeons contain one-time only bonuses, chests and bosses that only the first clear team gets to claim. That's why every major guild races for the first clear. The zones around Zhanghai City are all low level, so even a new dungeon that appears here usually won't carry high danger. The top elites of the major guilds don't bother with this kind of thing. They hand it off to the new awakeners in their ranks. So new dungeons are prime territory for this batch to fight over. And Qin is absolutely claiming this one. A new dungeon means new monsters. New monsters mean new traits. The Crimson Scorpion Desert is another zone near Zhanghai City, but it spans over 1,000 kilometers. Deep inside, entire sections have never been explored. A new dungeon appearing there is no surprise. And since there are no teleportation circles set up in the desert yet, every awakener heading for the dungeon has to travel on foot. The Crimson Scorpion Desert, with its blazing sun and endless sand, is somewhere most awakeners would normally never go. But for the new batch of awakeners, it's a gold rush. This is the first new dungeon to open this cycle. Not only will the city offer serious rewards for the first clear for a new awakener, it's a chance to make a name overnight. The moment word gets out, that once empty desert fills with people. By the time Qin sets out toward the Crimson Scorpion Desert, the road is already swarming with awakeners itching to get there. Most travel in guild groups or small teams. A solo traveler like Qin is almost unheard of. Everyone knows. A new dungeon appearing might mean opportunity, but it also means danger. Unknown rated dungeons have wiped full teams before. Every extra teammate is extra insurance. One group spots Qin alone and walks over. You're a new awakener, right? Going to the dungeon solo? Want to team up? A tall warrior steps forward, and his eyes scan Qin up and down, clearly drawn by the fact that Qin's gear is nearly a full set. At this stage, anyone with a full kit is either loaded or seriously capable. Qin turns and looks the group over. The mix of different outfits tells him they're not from the same guild, just a pickup group. 2 guys, 2 girls. Aside from the tall warrior, the 2 girls are a mage and a cleric, and the other guy is an archer. Their patchwork gear puts them around C to B rank. The team composition is decent, but they're missing a mobile offhand role. If the only frontliner loses aggro control, the glass cannons in the back will be in serious trouble. Qin's professional instinct has already run a full diagnosis on the group. Sorry, not looking for a team right now. He shakes his head. The tall guy doesn't give up easily, and tries again. The dungeon could be full of dangers. More teammates means more backup. Think it over? I'm Hao. At least add me as a contact. Pops up on Chen immediately. The guy seems genuine. But before Qin can accept, the cleric behind Hao shoots Qin a strange look, then tugs Hao's sleeve and whispers something into his ear. Hao's expression shifts. He cancels the friend request without a word. Wait, you're Qin? Sorry, we'll find someone else. 2 sentences. Qin understands everything. The cleric recognized him, the awakener who chose a trash, blank slate class at the ceremony. Even this low-rank pickup group doesn't want a trash class player dragging them down. Qin doesn't care. He turns and walks away without a second thought, and the whispers follow right behind him. Did you see that? That's actually Qin, the one who picked a trash class. They said he was a top seed at first high, and look at his gear now, he's worse off than us. Qin tunes it all out. Then his communicator buzzes. One message, from the only contact saved in it. Yan.